Alrighty. Can you tell us what is your name and what happened in your own words?
My name is Jeff Keith, and I was doing this morning what I do every morning, which was preparing myself to cross the border to come into work. Okay. In addition to that, I like to think of myself as an amateur photographer, so I generally have a camera with me for no other reason other than just to take general shots, interesting shots, things that catch my interest throughout the day. And in doing so, I do have certain equipment that does require me. My equipment does require that I have these settings in order to get these pictures. Unfortunately, I decided to, for whatever reason, I made the misfortune of doing this just before I went into the border. Still on public land, nothing to do with the border, nothing to do with the Guardia Civil, nothing to do whatsoever with anything about that. I was just simply getting my camera set to take pictures for the day for my walk into work. I do street photography, so I do take shots along the way. Unfortunately, one of the Guardia Civil had a perception that I had taken a picture of him. I made it clear to him that I didn't take any pictures, that there was no pictures. My Spanish is very limited. I couldn't really explain to him what I was trying to do, but I told him I didn't take any pictures. He then proceeded to have me show him what was on my camera, at which point I very respectfully and simply said no. He then escorted me into his office, took my passport, and at that point I demanded I demanded a translator to dictate to me what was going on. Mm-hmm. Okay, he said he didn't speak English. Again, as I've stated, my Spanish is very limited, so I thought at that point a translator was appropriate. He brought his supervisor over, who then came to me and did the same thing, demanded that I show him what's on my camera. I reiterated my original statement of no. He said, "You're telling me you're not going to show me what's on your camera?" I said, "That's exactly what I'm telling you." At which point he ordered me up against the wall and went for his gun. Never pulled it because at that point I decided, you know what, this is getting stupid. Take a look on my camera, you can see I did not take a photo. They demanded I show them the photos that I took for that day, and I said, again, there is no photo. I've taken no photos for the day. There's no photo of you. Both cameras, I had two cameras, and I showed them both cameras. Mm-hmm. Okay. At this point, they actually decided to tell me or make a statement of what the law is. Okay. I don't agree with that. I think it's a law that they made up. Their statement was that in Spain, you are not allowed to take a picture of anybody unless you have written consent. So that leads me to believe that if I'm in any public space and I want to take a picture of, say, a cathedral, I then first need to go and get signed consent from everybody that's in front of that cathedral before I can take a picture of that cathedral. It doesn't fly. This is boiling down to the whole Gibraltar, Spanish, whatever nonsense is going on. Has nothing to do with me. I don't take sides one way or the other. I'm from a different country. It is an inconvenience for me, yes. I find ways around it. I can work around that. But when my civil liberties or my personal space is violated by the people that are supposed to be protecting me, I've got to make a stand, and I want to make this public. Mm-hmm. I have nothing to hide. You can use my name, you can use my face. I will stand by this, and I will fight this to the end. So, you know, I am a law-abiding citizen. I've done nothing wrong. I've broken no laws that I know of, and I try to do what I need to do on a daily basis. And I think that what has happened this morning needs to be brought to light. It should never ever happen to me again, or anybody else that goes across the border.
So what would you like us to help you with?
I'd like to help you. I would like for you to help me to make this public. I think too many people are just standing back and saying, no, this is just the way it is and there's nothing we can do about it. I disagree with that. This is exactly what we need to do about it. We need to call them on it. We need to make sure that they cannot bully us in this way, and that's exactly what it was. This morning was an absolute bully tactic. Because if I actually was breaking the law, I wouldn't be here talking to you about it right now. I'd be, trying to get a hold of somebody to bail me out of a Spanish prison. Yeah. So, you make your decision on that, whether I broke the law or not. They can't get away with this. They will not get away with this. And I want to make it public.
So after they told you what the laws were,
yes.
What happened after that?
Well, nothing more, because I have to come into work and do my 8-hour shift. Mm-hmm. Rest assured, when I go home, I will be on that computer looking over this law.
Yeah. So, like, how did you then leave the office immediately after that?
I then left the office, and that was it. Nothing more.
Okay. I'm just curious. No,
that's fine. Yeah. It's all part of the whole of the incident that happened this morning. Again, had I truly broken the law, I think I would be in a Spanish prison, and I think they knew that.
Wonderful. Any last words you'd like to say?
No, I think I pretty much laid it out there. Again, I'd like to just make a statement here that there should be more. This is my crusade, but it's a crusade that should be for all of us, because it is civil liberties. We have to come into work every day. Either we come and live in Gib and never go across the border into Spain, which I think would hurt Spain. I just think this is hurting both countries, and somebody needs to stand up and say, listen, quit this playground politics and let's get on with life.